Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/ASYM for the top 10 stocks to buy right now. Apple is announcing a new iPhone 15 on Tuesday, and that's the biggest product the company has actually launched in quite a while. I'm recording this before the event, but this is expected to be a redesign, which they're typically doing about every 3 years now, and could boost demand for the company's products. But there are three predictions that I have for Apple that investors will want to keep an eye on. That's what I'm going to go over today. My name is Travis Hoyam. Thanks for watching Asymmetric Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube for all my content. And if you like this video, check out my newsletter, Asymmetric Investing, in the show notes. The first thing is actually not good news for Apple, and that's some recent news out of China. This is a report from the Wall Street Journal, but we've heard this all over the place that Chinese officials are warning people in China to stay away from Apple devices and specifically the iPhone. Now, China has become a huge market for Apple. So if they start to lose sales to companies like Huawei or other competitors within China, that could really dent the company's bottom line. And this is where I think Apple is in a very interesting position. We have had these kind of pressures before, but Apple has been able to overcome them because they've had other parts in the world where they were able to grow. Now we have had iPhone sales from a volume standpoint be relatively stagnant for a few years. So if you take a major market and let's say sales fall 20 or 30% in China, that's going to be a huge hit to Apple's revenue and net income because there's not other markets that can just eat up that demand. So Apple's in a unique position with its current stock valuation at about 30 times earnings. Its revenue from flagship products like the iPhone is starting to stagnate. It needs to squeeze more and more out of each customer. And if the number of customers that are buying iPhones declines, that's a real problem for the company. But speaking of those new products, like I said, on Tuesday, this event will take place and we're expecting a new iPhone 15. I have looked at a lot of the rumors and I have to say that I don't think this is going to be a massive selling product the way that these refreshes have often been, especially this third year cycle refresh. And this is the real reason for that. If you look at something like Mac Rumors, which is a great source for what to expect from Apple in the future, these are not great features from Apple. The phone is reportedly going to weigh a little bit less, have a little bit better battery, come with different accessories, come with a much higher price. The biggest change, to be honest, is that the phone is going to get a USB-C port, which has probably been due for a couple of years now. But as someone who has gotten a number of different iPhones over the years, I'm using an iPhone 12. I don't know that this is going to be the kind of product I'm going to upgrade to. And if that's the position that customers are in, they continue to lengthen the time between new iPhone purchases. That really hurts Apple's economics. So my prediction is that this product is not going to be the big seller that a lot of people are expecting. And the final thing, which again comes with a bit of a negative tone, is that the Vision Pro, which Apple announced earlier this year and is expected to come out next year, is not going to be material to the company in the foreseeable future. I know there's been a lot of talk about Apple acquiring companies like Disney to be able to get content for the Vision Pro, but the challenge is going to be actually making them and selling them. Early estimates are already that Apple is going to be selling fewer than 400,000 of these in the first year. That's because of supply constraints. Then you add in the price of $3,500 a piece and whatever content is going to cost. And this is just the kind of product that is not going to be a mass produced product or for the mass market for the foreseeable future. Now, 5 or 10 years from now, that may change if the form factor improves, if battery life improves, if content gets better and the price comes down. But those are a lot of things that need to happen. And there's a lot of technology that went into the device that we're expected to see next year. But there's a long learning curve. Remember that VR headsets have been out for about a decade now, and they have still not reached the mass market. So we may see the same thing from Apple. So the big thing here, watch out for China because China may have a big negative impact on Apple's sales of particularly iPhones in the future. Don't expect too much from the iPhone 15 because the upgrades that are happening are not particularly impressive to make people want to spend another $1,000 plus to buy a new iPhone. And don't expect a lot from the Vision Pro. Now, Apple is one of the most steady companies in the market, generating a ton of cash, but this is a very expensive stock trading for 30 times earnings. So don't be surprised if any of these things are really impacting the income statement that the stock does start to pull back. But what do you think about Apple's new products? maybe what's announced by the time you read this. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to Asymmetric Investing. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.